Carl from That's Well Boxing down at Carl Greaves gym in Newark, joined by Connor Pitbull Meanwell. Connor, how you doing?
I'm alright, mate, thank you. I'm a bit tired, but that's just finished the session, but I'm all gravy, I'm all good. I could do with some gravy, to be honest, but I'm all good.
That was some session, fella. We sat and watched it. I'm surprised you able to stand up, to be honest. So, first of all, Pitbull, where did that come about?
To be honest, I actually got the name before competing. Like, you know, I was a little shit on the streets, and you know, if there was a bit of bother, I was one of those. You know, like when you see a gracious dog and the dog's, regardless what it is, barking, biting, or whatever, and that's like my kind of attitude towards things. And I just carry that persona within boxing, and it served me well, because even for the amateurs, if any like tough fights or guys with good records, and like, I don't really care, I can still punch you, you can still punch me. It's the same thing, innit? So,
just coming on to the amateurs, obviously you was with Newark ABC to start with. Tell us a little bit about your amateur career and how it come about you eventually landing with Carl.
Well, I actually started off kickboxing. I did kickboxing for a number of years, competed in that in so many different bouts, but I was always good at my hands, so I wanted to transition to boxing. Wanted to do it the right way to gain the experience, the proper schooling, so I transitioned to boxing in my late teens under Newark ABC. I started off great, and then obviously had a bit of layoff because of coronavirus and stuff like that. 2020 was supposed to be my last season, but coronavirus, but I wanted one more good season, so I finished that off last year. And then I basically come down to do a bit of sparring with Carl Greaves, with some of the pros and stuff like that. You know, he saw what he liked and I liked what I saw, and I was, with me knowing that's going to be my last season, the next step was to go pro, and it was to go pro under Carl Greaves, and we both basically come to, yeah, here now.
Carl don't just take anyone on, fella, does that? So, no. You know, he must have seen something in you.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, the way it came about is like Adam Ketterer as well, who trains the boxers with Carl and that, and basically I was sparring, as an amateur, I was sparring with some of the amateurs that was, you know, working with Adam Ketterer, and then Adam saw my potential, obviously spoke to Carl, and Carl obviously brought me down to spar with some of the professional lads, and you know, obviously he saw what he liked. We have good chemistry together. We both obviously knew it, lads, as well, and we basically both spoke about turning professional. I actually even said I wanted a couple of months off because, you know, I had a long season, I had a tough year in general, and I just wanted a break.
Yeah. And
then 2 months later I spoke to him, and yeah, obviously signed a contract with him, 3 years contract, and my pro debut last year, which I won, and now obviously I've got a big year this year.
Talking about your pro debut, obviously I believe there's a change of opposition, I think you told me the other night. So, what a war. What type of fighter would you say you are, Connor?
I am. A lot of people who see me and sit through the amateurs and background, I am a come forward pressure fighter. Like my style of boxing is I come forward and I try to wear you down, and then gradually as the rounds get on, I get stronger anyway. So that's my style of boxing. You know, I can box, but you know, I like to, you know, to wear them down, and you know, to keep the pace up, that momentum of pace, you know, to find that hard to deal with as the rounds get going anyway. So that's my style.
Coming on to the great opportunity you got in February with this tournament, winner takes all. What's the format of it? Is it shorter rounds or?
Yeah, it's like a prize fighter sort of thing. So they're 3 rounds, 3 minutes, you know, and it's basically it's a knockout tournament. And you know, if you do well and get to the final, that's 3 fights in one night. You know, so it's going to be tough. All the lads that's basically in the lineup, including me, like on paper, we're basically all on par. But obviously, you know, those sort of things, there's not going to be as much skill and all that. It's going to be like dog fights and stuff like that, which is, you know, I believe is suited for me. Like that's like, you know, my sort of thing. I could do that all day. You know what I mean? So it's going to come down to who's got the balls on the night, who's got that mentality, who can keep that dog into him and go for that night. And I believe I can do that.
How does preparation look for such a tournament? Because obviously you're going in and you're cooling down, you're going in, you're cooling down. Anything different?
Yeah, look, the thing with this is about, like you'd have seen me training a bit today, and that's not even full on today, you know what I mean? It's about pounding that heart, getting your heart level stress so high, just so you, and then in recovery state you can, cope it under those level of stress when you're putting in that work. It's like we're starting off sparring next week, and that will involve where I spar 3 rounds with one person, have a round out, and then I come back in and spar another 3 rounds with a whole new person, have a round out, same part, and I do 9 rounds in total. You know what I mean? Like those sort of training, sprints and everything else, it's those sort of preparation for this sort of tournament as well is what you need. And we believe we can do this, and obviously Carl and Adam and all of them lot's got the training plan in mind, so I'm in good hands when it comes to that.
Great opportunity, decent payday, used to win it.
Yeah, I could do it. I feel like Conor McGregor afterwards. 20 G's then. I can't do the accent, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a 20 grand cash prize, which makes it even more interesting. And obviously, I could do with a bit of that money. I'm sure obviously the other lads could do, but I kind of need it more, bro. You know what I mean? It's like,
Quite interesting as well, because a couple of the lads, when I was doing a bit of research, actually come from the West Midlands. So I'd imagine it's really takes the atmosphere.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm used to that, because even for the amateurs, I fought on the road a lot, like away. I don't really, compete a lot on home shows, because you can see it for some of the amateurs. Like lads who's got a lot of wins, but you notice a lot of those wins on their home shows and stuff like that. Alright, mate. Like you believe that, what sort of paper record you got there. But I'm used to that, and I thrive in those moments. And if anything, I could be a wind-up merchant as well. So they just give me ammunition when it comes to it. So.
How many times do you expect to be out this year, Conor? Because obviously 1-0 at the minute. Is it all about activity?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've got this one on the 18th of February. I'm already scheduled out for the 25th of March, back in Newark as well, so back in hometown. So I really want a big crowd for that one, even bigger from last time. Apart from that, that's what I'm only scheduled out for. But I believe all goes well with this tournament. Be 4-0, goes well on the home show. Be 5-0. At least get 2 more out by the year's out or something like that, if 3, depending. You never know with opportunities. I mean, it was 2 days after my last fight that I had this tournament. Carl messaged me on that one, and first thing I sent him my voice note saying, let's go, you know what I mean, let's do it. I didn't even think about it, to be honest.
There's some massive fights for you locally, your weight as well, as you move through obviously your career.
Well, no, but that's what I mean, because obviously, when you sell tickets and stuff like that, you join them and get your profile up and stuff like that, but when you get an opportunity with this tournament, and I'm a welterweight, like you said, there's a lot of guys about at that weight, it's best to take those opportunities, because you take those, you show everyone you're a contender, you know what I mean? So it just helps to boost my profile, because obviously I wanted to turn pro a bit sooner, but I couldn't because of coronavirus. So now, I don't want to fast track everything, but if the opportunity's there, I'm going to take it to help me out in my career.
Finally, a couple of big fights coming up that I'd like to get your opinion on, and this will be recorded, so we will play it back. Firstly, Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. How'd you see that one going?
Liam Smith is very experienced, but Chris Eubank, he's changed a bit since he's gone under Roy Jones and stuff. Like he has become a bit smarter. And I know people like Liam Smith was trying to criticise him over the Liam Williams fight, saying if I knock someone down with 4 rounds, I won't be getting back up with a jab. But every fight is different, every fight style, and that's different. But if you watch that fight back, Chris Eubank was a lot more patient than he normally is. You know what I mean? If he wanted to turn up the heat, he can. I actually think Chris Eubank might do it. I think it'd be interesting, because Liam Smith, no joke, and he can turn it into a fight. But I think he might do it. And
the last one, obviously a lot of local interest in this, just announced, Lee Wood versus Richard Lara.
Right, that's an interesting one because Lara, he comes to Brexit, but obviously I'm backing our hometown boy, Lee Wood, because after that last fight with Conlan, Michael Conlan, and he even said to him, like, if you're still there in the last round, I'm gonna pop you with that shot, you know.